Today on Look What Just Found, this is episode 150. Now, yeah, let's do this the right way. Good morning, everyone. How are you? I keep getting, I shouldn't say that. I've gotten some requests for personal visits, and I'm not going to do it all the time, but every once in a while we'll do it. So what happens is sometimes I'll get a bunch of penny rolls from the bank, and I'll have a good one, and it'll get my mind going. I'm like, oh, there's got to be another good penny in one of those rolls, like a treasure hunter or something. So we found the the triple diamond rolls with those 1978 Ds in it. I mean, they're phenomenal. And then the next couple ones I did from the same bank, but not triple diamond, so probably not the same person. They had some, mostly what was good in them. There were a couple key varieties, 1994. There was one in the last roll that was really, really exceptional. And a good key variety. I mean, like when you could really see the doubling, like the whole other letter next to it. Not necessarily, it's machine doubling, right? So it doesn't look like the outside image of it, but you can see it's like a machine doubling, but very, very good. They had like 20, 30 bucks on the 1994. So that's a good find, but not as significant as those 1978 Ds. So today we're going to do another one, and I'm hoping I'm like a scratch off addict. This one's going to be a winner. This one's going to be. So let's check it out. See if we can strike it rich. No, we're not going to strike it rich. We're going to see if we have any luck and find another, maybe another good key variety or something like that. And oh, look at that. It's right there. Can you look at that? All right. So I'm going to put that, we're going to look at that one, put it to the end. Okay. All right. Let's see. I think that's the most bent I've ever seen a penny before in my life. Now, that, of course, the question is always going to be: is it post or mint damage? So right, because mint damage means it's an error. It's funny that I said about the 1978 D, and here we go. Because in those rolls of 1978 D, there were also some 1976s Ds and other really nice. Look at that. That is a holy wowzers. Look at that strike through. That is a good one. You can see the big nose. You see the big nose in column number 3 to the left? Wowzer. All right. I'm always saying there should be something on the obverse that has that big, whatever that is. I don't know. All right. I'll zoom in very quickly on this just to show you that's a great one. I mean, that's just his nose sticking right out. That's a very, very good first find. And that would be like a $10 scratch off, winning $10 on the scratch off right there. Oh, we're gonna have all cut. Now you see, this is what I'm saying. Like I'm wondering now, because so far we hit the die clash, and the first two are coppers. So I'm wondering if this is also from that same person. Oh, here goes a 94. We were just talking about it on the intro. All right, so if there's any really good doubling on this, then it would be I would consider it a key variety. But for me, like I wouldn't be interested in it unless it had really good doubling, personally. And what I've seen like on Rob Finds Treasures, like he really knows the The numismatic um, areas on the coin where if there's an error, these little where there's, I'm gonna say like key areas, um, very specific, like that's in the books, right? Where they in the like if you have a coin book, coin error book, it'll show you very very specifically on certain um, coins where the error is. Oh, that's a pretty nice gas blister right there. That's nicer than most. I'll put that to the side. Um, so of course that comes with years of dedication and I was going to say training, but that's not necessarily. I mean, self-trained. Oh, that's nice too. Mm. Oh yeah. Let me look at that because I can see some doubling in it. Usually, you don't see doubling in those hub tilted hub grooves. This one you do. See it on the I. I mean, you see the machine doubling in the T and the E and the D, but the I you can see the doubling on the I. Specifically, the I up there. You can see the doubling and unite it. I'll get a little closer. See the T, the E, and the D, right? That's machine doubling. That's where it breaks the clad. But on the I, you can see real doubling. Maybe even a little bit in the end there, but definitely in the I. So right there that makes it worth it, right? Because now you have a doubling. It's a 92, a 91. So I don't know of any varieties of 91. So it's just a double die. Um, it's as a result of the tilted hub, but it's not machine doubling. It's actually a double die. You can see the eye there, so that's good too. See, these are unsearched. Um, these are unsearched rolls. Yeah, I see that there. I'll take a look at that just to make sure it's not. Oh, and the G. I'll take a look at that in a second. So in unsearched roles, you're much, much more likely to find errors. So if someone goes, "Oh, look at all those errors you find." These are unsearched roles. I have cherry picker roles. The guy puts a little check mark on it. And so he leaves the copper in them. That's the only reason why I search through them and get the copper. We're going to look for the see some doubling on the bottom of the W there, possibly. That's the wide AM. You want the close AM on the 1992. $2,000D. Now the 2000P, if it has the wide AM, but I have to say if it's a 2000D with the wide AM, I'm sure that has value also because that's not common. See, does this have a dye clash in it? I don't know. I can't tell because it's so dirty. Throw it into the cleaning pile. What I do is I'll take it off camera and look if I think I see something possibly on 82. Yeah, this is copper. I wonder how that penny got bent. When I was a kid, I had a friend who was hearing impaired, and he was a bull, man. This guy was he was like overdeveloped for like for his age. You know what I mean? He was just a tank, cool as heck. Um, Great guy. He used to run around with us. We used to have, when we were kids, at 10, 11, 12 years old, we'd run around the neighborhood and, be mischievous. And he would come around with us. I don't remember him ever lifting weights, but he had these huge arms and wrists and hands. He was big, man. He was big. He was thick. And he was able to he could bend quarters with his fingers. Yeah, Juan, man. Juan was cool, man. He was a good guy. Yeah, but he was super strong. I remember he just had this crazy strength. My cousin told me I wasn't around to see it, but my cousin said that he asked them to help him put a motorcycle, not a big one, probably like a 200, or 300, and but they got to weigh like what 400 or 500 pounds, if not more. I'm assuming. Maybe 300 or something like that. I don't know, 300 to 400 pounds. I'm gonna assume. Anyway, so he asked him to help him put this motorcycle into the back of a truck. I guess they were taking it somewhere or selling it or whatever. Oh, look at that. That's nice. We're gonna look at that in a second. And he said, okay, so obviously he couldn't hear him count to three. Um, but he wasn't ready to pick up the bike yet. I mean, like he had his hands on the bike, but he wasn't ready to pick the bike up. And he said the guy just picked him and the bike up and threw it on the back of the truck. And he couldn't believe it, man. That's how strong he was. He like threw the bike and my cousin onto the back of the truck. I'm gonna look at that T. Yeah, there's some doubling or double-ish. I mean, it could be from dye damage, but either way, it's oh, it's mint damage, right? Because it looks like it's what I'm noticing is that it looks like there might be some doubling under the T. At the end of before they throw the dye out or they change it, this is what starts to look at, the letters start having issues. Yeah, so he used to bend quarters. Not all the time, but my cousin said, come on, Juan. And he would take his time, and eventually he would bend it like this. He would bend the quarters like that. I didn't check YouTube to see. I'm sure there's got to be other people who've done that before. We didn't think nothing about it, I mean, it was cool, but like I was never given one or anything like that. I would have kept it and showed it off and stuff. 77. That's a nice penny. Let me look at that really quick. It looks like a die clash. Yeah, I guess it is. It's really that extra column in there. I'm gonna say is what I really like. I don't know if I found one with an extra column like that, or a die clash column. Yeah, I don't think I found one like that before. That's pretty cool. I don't know exactly if it's just a double die of the column, or if it's a die clash that makes it look like that. I'm not sure. It's pretty cool though. Yeah, those sell for $5-10 too. $2001. Interesting. This one looks like it has it too. I'm actually gonna put that one with the last one. Oh, come on. I guess it must be common or something. Am I like not noticing it in like the other 10,000 pennies that I looked at? That the column next to Lincoln has an extra line. And I want to see it because this looks very, very pronounced. I guess that's not die clash then. For some reason, I've never noticed it before. But I will put these together because it's an interesting topic. Now I'm going to look for it on all of them. I feel like, at this point I should know those details, but I don't. That's the bottom line. Even after looking through all these pennies, I still don't know. 1990D. All right, let's look on this 83. I always check the neck. And that's weird. I always look at the neck to see if there's anything. 'Cause that's one of the places. Look at that. For some reason, that die clashes show. All right, that's not normal. Yeah, you see? I knew it. I knew it. All right, let's look at the extra line. All right, see, it's not that strong there. It's very strong in the other ones, but that's strong. That whatever. It's not the nose. What is that? What is that? Does that? It's not. Is it the face? I always thought it was the face. It can't be because that's not the way his face looks. It's very. That's a very strong. That's nice. That's a very strong one. What is that from? It's his jacket. It's got to be his. Oh, is it his jacket? Is it that? Right, because it would be the corner of his head. Ah, it's the corner of his head, right? Ah, it's right there. You see it? Well, that's a nice one, irregardless. Irregardless is not a word. It is, it is, it is. It is. It's the Mandela effect. It's the Mandela effect. I get a kick out of seeing people argue in the comments about irregardless is not a word. That's made up. Irregardless and regardless is the same word. Then someone else, the other guy came out, he goes, irregardless, it's in the Mediterranean dictionary. I know it's the Meridian. I said Mediterranean. Irregardless, it doesn't matter if I say Mediterranean, Meridian, or Mexican. It's all the same. Irregardless. But it seriously, it is the Mandela effect. Because irregardless and regardless is the same word. 1992, looking for close AM. Nope. Oh, going on here. Little late stagey going on here. You know, it's funny because I remember saying in one of my past videos, um, something about because someone made a comment. They go, "That's not a late stage die cap," and I remember thinking like, yeah, you know, it really doesn't look like the person was right. It did not look like a late stage die cap because you can still see some of the features, you know. And then while I was doing research later on, I saw in one of the websites that there is something called early and mid stage. Now, don't quote me. I can't remember exactly what they was talking about, specifically referring to. Um, I can't remember if it was specifically something called a mid stage die cap, but I think it was they were referring to the stages of the die to the point where they have to replace it, right? So like early stage dulling or something like that. You know what I mean? Because obviously that the dies go through a progression. I'll look at that on the 3. Right? They don't just go from mint to dull. Right? There's a progression to it. So me and the person were both correct. It was not a late stage die cap, but it was um, the die was progressing towards that point. And I think that's one of the things that, you know, can be kind of confusing because you're looking at the coin and it's like, oh, that looks kind of dull. Is it a mint error or is it just an old worn out coin. You know what I mean? And that becomes the I think one of the challenges is determining if it's a die error, right? If the hammer, usually for some reason it's the hammer, right? It's the obverse, because that's the part that's striking down onto the planchet, and the anvil is where the planchet is seated, right? Now I'm gonna assume that, and this is an assumption. You can correct me below. I could do some research on it, right? But there's a collar. Now, is the collar part of the anvil? That's a good trivia question, huh? Not too much copper in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I think I tossed a couple. So maybe we'll have 6 or 7 coppers. So it's not even 20%, more closer to like 10% or something like that. Yeah, I wish that was a 5 right there. I know it's not. It's just a dirt. It's a dirt 5. Still gonna look at it. You know I gotta look at that because you can't tell me that doesn't look exactly like a 5 right under that 2. That's crazy. I hate when the dirt does that to me. It really plays tricks on my brain. I don't know what that is, man. Nah, there's a bunch of little marks like that look like things on this. Forget about it. Yeah, so I guess the column right next to on both sides, I guess that's to give perspective, right? So you can see on both sides of Lincoln, you can see the perspective of the column there. So I'm going to say that the other ones are not die clashes or anything like that. I really never noticed, and like you said, a nice little gas blister there. That one's not that good. I really never noticed that before, so that was pretty interesting. I guess I've been dealing with so many dirty pennies lately that I really haven't, like, I kind of lose the memory, right, of what a clear good penny looks like. You see so many of these, like, look how dirty this is. I can't tell it. So weird, so weird. I gotta clean this one, man. Anything good in there? Possibly, maybe not. I thought maybe something in that last column. Forget it. It's not worth my time. Oh, hard to tell. Anything else? Let me look at this under the loop, see if it's worth it. You see, like on this one, you don't see the perspective in the. Oh, look at that. That's an interesting. Has a nice little rim damage on the front, also on the obverse. I don't know if you noticed that. I didn't notice it, but look. Yeah, I'll hold on to it just because of this, because I don't usually see that. I'm gonna assume we're talking about collars. Interestingly enough, I'm gonna assume that it's like a collar error. Let's see. Let's look at the. See if we see anything on the edge. No, maybe not, but still interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen one like that. That's pretty cool. And for the finale, I got it here. Hold on. Yeah, I see this. I think of my friend. He passed. He passed a while ago. I have his card around here somewhere. His funeral card. Makes me wonder if someone bent this with their fingers. Because that's what it looked like. This is what he did with his fingers. There's no way that this happened. And but it's so smooth, man. I mean, he didn't bend pennies. He bent quarters. And we're talking about in the 80s. So yeah, they were glad, I guess. Who knows? Maybe he bent. Oh, imagine he only bent the silver ones, right? Is silver would be soft? No, I don't know. Would silver be softer? I didn't even know about those things back then. Silver. I could have. I'm sure I spent the silver quarter or two here or there. I'm just looking at this. Oh, there are little. So cool. Oh, I need the light. There are little. There's little lines from something there. So it's definitely from machining. I hate using that word definitely, right? Because I don't know what I'm talking about 90% of the time, so I shouldn't say that. But it looks like machining. It definitely looks like machining. Not that it's definitely machining, but it definitely looks like it. All right. You see, it's harder to see with the light on. Yeah, you can see it there. And I'll zoom in a bit. So I don't get it. But you can see the marks there. Um, oh, look how cool that is. So, but on the back, there's nothing. How about the side? Nothing. All right, let's try to figure out the thumbnail here. And let me put the light back on. I'm gonna just keep the black. Looks like a potato chip, right? I know you were thinking that. See, nothing there. But here, let me see. That's with the light on. It's taking away the shadow. I mean, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it a. I'm gonna call it mint damage. You know what I'm saying? Unless otherwise proven incorrect, I'm gonna say this is a mint error. Obviously, I have to do some research on it, but it's really, really cool. Thank you for clicking, liking, and subscribing. Thank you to everyone who has stayed to the very end. Thank you to all of our members. Cat from Catatonic, Sandra, Mar-Tay, Otis, and Eric from keeneEyeCollectables. Thank you guys for sticking it out with me. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all the subscribers and everyone who stood here to the end of the video. Thank you for Otis and Mar-Tay for saying that they liked watching the long version videos. I don't have to do multiple thumbnails anymore. Now, I'm not saying I won't do parts but I think I'm gonna need more of a better reason going forward to do them than just the algorithm or analytics or anything like that. Um, Thank you to everyone who laughed at any of my dumb jokes. And most of all, thank you, Jesus, for for everything you did for us. You know, I'm not a super knowledgeable religious person or anything like that. I just I found Christ at some point in my life, and I try to do something to show that he's important to me on a daily basis. It's one of the reasons I put the little crosses in each one of my titles. It's like just the smallest um, act that I could do just to say, hey, you know, you're really, really important to me. And and I have to thank him, right? If I'm going to thank everybody else, I don't do it all the time, but I felt it today, so I did it. Thank you. God bless you all, and I will see you in the next one.